Welcome everybody that watches this and we get set up here. So I'm mostly set up as getting to know how the cameras look, the lighting. So I hope the audio is picking up well, especially when I talk this. But I'm going to sit down in just a moment, just see how this stuff looks. Actually, pretty good. I don't want to move that over like that. So. Yeah, thank you for tuning in and watching this. A lot of people are asking me about like what goes on around here and how we're doing what we're doing and how it's going, and have a lot of these conversations throughout the day. And people notice the changes at the track. I see I'm a little blown out here, so it's not, I can't really see that well, but at least you got the track right there. So people are asking me, they always ask me lots of questions about why we do the improvements that we do, why we don't do other ones. A lot of, what you should do, and 99% of the time, I know I should do that. Maybe it's 80% of the time. There's definitely some great ideas that come to me through the community and stuff like that. And most of them are ones that we actually have. So that's kind of cool because then we're aligned on that. And there's some ones that actually are really good, but we hadn't thought of yet. So we appreciate that kind of stuff. But we also have limited time, limited money, literally limited resources. And we have to pick and choose our time wisely if we want to be able to have good events and grow this community here. And, I could just lay back, do social media posts, let people know what's going on with the tracks, make a little change on the track each weekend, and keep my life simple, right? We didn't have to make improvements on the bathrooms or the cafe. We don't have to have all the pro shop and the inventory that it is. But some of you guys question things, and I think it's important the place we're coming from, the place I'm coming from, and what our days look like. So people wanted behind the scenes stuff. So I don't know what this will, turn into. I might do this a lot, and it's a way for you guys to know what's coming up, what we've done, what changes we've made, and to have dialogue directly with me. So feel free to chime in with questions anytime. I will check back and see if it fits into the talk we're going to do now. It might be 15 minutes. It might be 3 hours. I don't know. But I've got a little time off the bike, and while I'm recuperating, I'm focusing on what I can do, and getting the word out to you guys what's going on is it's my responsibility. So here I am. So right now, all hands on deck for USA MX Championships for me. Okay, so for me, that's a primary thing I have to get together for you guys, the public, and get it in your hands so you know what's going on with the race. And we've got most of it figured out. We got a couple things to finalize, and I'll kind of share what those are with you and where we are in finalizing them, and maybe how you can actually help too, right? Because this race is for you guys, and it's really important to us that we get to have Thanksgiving with everybody. So for that event, like right now on the fence for it, I think we have almost all the classes. I'm going to just take a look at the state series and see what classes they had and how it differs from what we had and the turnouts in those. So we might change them just a little bit. We will have the Heroes class for sure as well. So that's not something that they have in the state championship series, but it's a cool thing to get to do. So got to finalize the classes. So we're really close, and there will probably be 2 or 3 changes, if any at all. So almost done with that. We got to do that by Wednesday. Pro purse, figure out what we're giving for pros to come on out here. We've done $5,000, and then we did $9,999, I believe, another year, and it really didn't change the participation. And this is what I'm just thinking. So you guys correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm just thinking out loud of like, how do we invest in the sport the best way, right? So I race the pro class, so I want to win that money. I want big purses too. Like I get that, I totally get that. But we had the same number of entries, maybe 1 or 2 less, with half the purse. And from recent events, it seems like the pros are not being driven by purses. There's been purses well beyond 10,000, well close to 50 that racers are not showing up for. So I don't know if that's the best place to invest money. I know we got to invest some money in that direction. How much, we have to finalize that. And the thing is, that we invest money there, then we have less money for allocating for awards for amateurs, right, and non-pros. So there's, or advertising or staffing and all that stuff. So it's always just kind of being a balancing act. So that's a big lump sum. So we're trying to figure out what that number is going to be, how we're going to incentivize guys to come out. And if you have some thoughts on that, like, absolutely chime in. We're not dead set on anything. I've talked to a lot of people about it, and it seems like the room is split on where it is with the pros. I'd like to see more pros in the pro class. So a lot of the C riders, the B class riders, they start moving up to pro class, then I'm going to be able to give bigger payouts to them. So that's what I'd really like to see. And then that class grows and it makes room for new people coming to the sport, because nature abhors a vacuum. So if the C class riders all bump up to B class and C class was empty, a lot of people that are on the fence about riding would jump in. But when C class riders are throwing down pro class times, the new guy doesn't want to race with that. So I'd like to see that get more organized, but that's a whole other topic. But I'm going to ramble on these videos. So like it or not, that's what's going to happen. The other thing for the USA Championships is, what's the promo that we're going to do? We're going to have a big raffle, right? What are we going to tell people and get people excited about? So the pro purse, is it about the raffle? If it's about the Motomania Awards also being, or if it's about Thanksgiving dinner. For me, it's really about community stopping and being able to spend time and have dinner with you all. It's super busy for me and Emily and the whole team out here that weekend, but and pretty consistently always. But on Thanksgiving, like, I know that we both get to take some time and connect with the people that come out here that enjoy this place the most. And it's a really good time. It's really valuable input for us. We see what they love about the place. They see, see where we can make improvements and how we can better the place. So that's a good spot for us to be able to do that with you. So I want you to come to Thanksgiving dinner and for Thanksgiving race. But why do you want to come? I hope that's enough. You have the same feeling about it, but the connection with the community. But maybe it's for raffles, maybe it's for door prizes, maybe it's for the racing, maybe it's for making memories with your family, which that's going to happen. They're going to be good. So to get a factory ride, I don't know if USA Championships delivers that right now. I don't think there's any teams sending scouts this year, right? But if you want to have a great time with your friends and family, we can do that. So, got some things to set up with Weston and Damon and everything for the Fly Ride Day that we did. We got a lot of video footage. We got to make promo videos, do some work for Fly, make it worth their while for sending those guys out here, show the world what they missed this weekend. It was good. It was actually a lot of fun. But lots of recap video we'll have. But back to the USA Championships, we got nighttime activities. We got some go-karts. So we might include some kind of go-kart race into the nighttime activities. Got to do something with them. We got 2 now. We got 2 or 3 more on the way. We have 2 kids ones. We got some adult ones coming. That's kind of mixing things up. I'll talk more about that in a moment. Just want to talk to you about USA Championships, but this is how I think about things. I try to stay in a bulleted list, but then it weaves me around, right, to another thing that I've got to do. So making this list, having this conversation is gonna make me even better at doing that. So we got to figure out the lap count for USA Championships on the motos. I actually ran all the numbers and how many motos we're gonna do. So we have it out in the world that we are considering doing 3 moto format, and it seemed like the world wants that, right? So that's been probably 80% of the response. And it seems like the small contingency of people that want it to be 2 motos, there might be a solution for that as well. So we're working to make sure that we can make as many people happy as possible. But actually, most importantly, is making sure we have staffing, because it changes the schedule for the weekend. And those of you guys that want 3 motos, like, are you ready to start racing on Friday and have practice in the morning, race on Friday, race on Saturday, race on Sunday, because we need more time? And if not, are you down to change the lap count? Actually, it was Tucker Johnson that pointed out to me at an event he did, had 3 motos. The first moto was 3 laps, second moto was 4 laps, and the last moto was 2 laps. So you got like sprinting and a little bit longer of a race, which kind of mixes things up a little bit. And I actually put the numbers into a spreadsheet, and we could most likely compress that event into a 2-day format. So 3 motos, but stagger the number of laps. So that was a whole new concept that was delivered to me this weekend by a 16-year-old, which I like. I like it. I don't know if you guys like it. So tell me if you guys would like to do 3 motos, but be able to fit it in 2 days and have them change the number of laps. So I think that adds a cool element to it. And then maybe just make the pro class and the heroes class on Sunday 2 motos, so those guys don't have to come 2 days, because a lot of the heroes have to work either Saturday or Sunday. So we could put those as 2 motos, because they're kind of expedition classes, right? So let us know what you want to do. I'm open to whatever. I don't have a way I want to do it. I want to be able to do it, and I want to make sure we have the staff. So if we have to do 3 days, that makes it much harder for us to get the right staff too. It's Thanksgiving weekend. People have holiday plans already. They've been doing for years, as you may know. And we're already working on getting staffing for that event, but that's, staging for 3 days, scoring for 3 days, registration, all that stuff, referee, right? So that's 3 days on them. It's a lot more of team that needs to be here to make it happen if we can all the same number of laps. So that is a disadvantage. We can solve it, I'm sure, but it's going to be a lot of work. We're going to need your help to get the right people. So that's USA Championships, but it's really helping. Oh, there's one other promo item, and I just got all the creative to it for today, and I got all the green lights. It's really kind of awesome. We found a way that we're gonna be able to send people on vacation, basically. Like, they have to pay their airfare. They'll have to pay the taxes and fees. That's the cost that you have to pay in addition to what the value of the thing is, right? So, like a $1,200 vacation for $200, right? A bunch of 5 days, 6 or 5 nights, 4 nights in Cancun, stuff like that. Stuff in Vegas, some hog hunt stuff, so you can stay local. So we're working with this our travel agency that has access to these amazing promos that we can work with you guys on, and we can afford to do it and give you guys like something big. So look out for details on that. I got to see how many we're going to have of everything. So, but it's going to definitely start with pre-registrations. That's the plan on that. So that's going to be a little bit of technical integration and some work to do with that. But that's it for USA Championships that we got to figure out. But we also got these go-karts. So I'm going to close out the USA Championships here. Let's just move into the go-karts, because that's another separate initiative that's like on the top of my list to get figured out. We have the 2 kids carts. We're going to have the adult carts. We need to be able to test them, see if we have a track that's right for them. I think we do, at least for the kids carts. So we're going to do a demo day so people can try them out. Just a fun day, or at least the kids carts will be out on November 1st. We'll figure out what these adult carts look like for that. But the kids will be able to cruise around on them. And it's going to be a community event. Like, we're going to invite the outside world to come out. So even if you don't have moto people that might have fun on a dirt go-kart, that's super safe. You don't have to balance. It's a good thing for even the moms when we have the adult carts. So definitely appealing to, and I'll tell you why we did this, because I talk about community, right? And this is to appeal to one, how do we grow the community so that when you come to the track, there's something for mom to do other than get her hair blow out by Mother Nature mixed with a bunch of dust or mud or whatever elements are flying around, right? So what does mom do when she's at the track, right? That's kind of what she does, unless she keeps up in the car or reads a book, or maybe she hangs out in the cafe here. Maybe she hangs out in the cafe or in the pavilion. I do see a lot of people go for walks around the property and stuff like that. And there's actually a lot of moms racing, which is really cool. But we want to make something for every mom, right? For every mom that comes out here, there's something she can do while she's here, aside from just wait for her child or husband to be done riding, right? And just be sitting there. And they support their children and they support their husbands, which sometimes is the most important job. So let's not take that away. But we want to have them be able to have fun while they're out here. Like, there should be a little bit of a vacation for them too, not just work. So that's why we have the cafe. That's why we just redid the restrooms. The women's restrooms are so much nicer. And that project was supposed to be like 1 week long, and it's still not done. It should be buttoned up, I want to say this week, but I just look at my shoulders, so I can't finish it up. So I can't guarantee that. But probably this week, the women's will be complete. It's very minimal what's left. It just requires 2 arms that are functioning. So we got the women's restrooms. We got the go-karts for the kids, right? And the members of the family that aren't the daredevils, like the motocrossers are. Because, like, just face it, like, look at this track outside, right? This thing, it's intimidating to people. I mean, there's so many hills, there's huge jumps. They drive by here and they're like, no way in hell am I ever going to be able to do that. A lot of people like that. Some people see it and be like, oh, I can't wait to conquer that, right? But that's a unique person that wants to conquer this stuff on a dirt bike. We're special. But what about your brother or sister that's like, I'll ride, but they're a little more timid. Maybe they want to jump in a go-kart and just cruise around. We expanded the playground too, right? So these things are all driven on welcoming the community, to growing the community, to having more things to be done for the whole entire family out here. So that in the long term, you guys are going to use this place. Every single generation is going to be here for whatever they enjoy being here for, right? So that's why we keep adding new things, and not just, I mean, we have enough tracks. We don't need another track. At this point in time, maybe we'll have an RC track. Maybe we'll have another go-kart track. Maybe we'll have an oval or something. I don't know. But right now, we have enough tracks. The riders, they got something somewhere good to ride pretty much every single day out here. I know, because I ride out here almost sometimes 6 days a week. So, and I'll usually take off the days that's prepped to let everybody else have the track and have their fun. So, yeah, so that part's dialed in. The cafe just keeps expanding and evolving. We're going to actually be moving a wall in there. So I don't know if that's going to happen this week, but the next month or so, I'd expect to have much different looking cafe, so we can put all new fly gear out that we got. Some of it's really cool stuff. So I'm pretty excited. How much we spent with WPS has grown like 40% over last year and the whole year of last year. So we're fixing to double, maybe a little less than double, but almost double what we spent with them last year. And that's because you guys are coming out and you're using the pro shop. Your guys are finding it valuable. And we keep restocking whatever you purchase and are always open to new things. And then my wife has a bunch of things in, like, she has candles in there. Come on. One motocross track has candles for sale that don't smell like two-stroke or a VP. Although we would get them if we had them. But it's pretty cool. We got these custom towels, umbrellas. It's just that whole side of the business is another piece of the business to manage. And right now I'm just looking at how can we let it grow, and we literally have to move a wall so the building grows. So that's on deck. So that's going to happen at some point here. Then it's, so this is kind of things I'm thinking about, or getting initiatives taken care of, right? Getting moving. While I also make the schedule for 2026, I got almost all of our races into a calendar for all of next year, and pretty much ready to publish. I got all that motocross ones. I don't have the mud runs yet. I don't have the mud truck days. I don't have, we're going to do something with the go-kart racing or something like that. That'd be pretty cool if we could do that. So then we have the winter break camp, the spring break camp, the kids camps. Those things grew so much this year, and they were so good. They were so good for the kids. It was good for the families. So I'm really excited about seeing those book up this year, and we got so much better at what we were doing. So these next ones are going to be like gangbusters good. So really taking everything we learned and make sure that it's implemented when we have those camps. And by the end, we kind of had it at a rhythm last time. Like 90% of it was just muscle memory. So getting ready for that stuff. So there's a lot going on here. There's bike work for like the rental fleet and my own stuff, right? I got that going on, of course, like you. Equipment, we got to maintain the equipment. We got the repairing and selling. We're selling some equipment. We're selling one of the water trucks. We have 3 of them. So making sure we have the inventory. I mentioned that before. The social media stuff, that's another thing we got to make sure that we're having. And maybe this video kind of ties into that in some way. Maybe we'll cut and slice some of this to get bits and pieces out about different topics. But I figured I'd make the stream of consciousness and kind of just break down what my week looks like, right? What I've got to do this week. And then, of course, there's the track prep and the building and stuff like that. But really, our focus is around making more for the community to do while they're here. Even you riders, like you guys benefit from nicer bathrooms. Like the men's is on deck. We're gonna do some, not a ton of changes in there, but we got little improvements we're doing right away. I've got a wellness room. Like we're setting up a sauna and some ice baths, right? So for the guys that train out here, and we'll figure out how to make that a public thing at some point, I'm sure. But the people that are training out here, they need everything they can to get stronger. So recover faster. So we've been wanting to do that for a long time. We now have the room. It's just a matter of setting everything up. But again, missing your arm. But we'll have that. We already get the gym here. Got to do some work on that. But that's like what my week looks like, right? So I got to solve these issues. And these are the ones that I know about. There is one other race that I am thinking about a lot. And some of you guys might actually remember this race. We did so much good. We raised $14,000 for the Center for Intrepid Burn Unit, CFI, at one of our events. And it was, we had an adaptive race. Doug Henry came down, Mike Schultz came down. We had all these guys, known people come race the adaptive class. We had racing the motocross track, and we had racing on the night track. We had tons of people out here, and I hired this big marketing agency to help me build it and stuff like that. We raised 14 grand, and everybody had a lot of fun. But at the end of the event, I actually had to write a check for like 10 grand to cover the expenses of the personal check, right? Because we were negative 10 grand on the whole event because we did so much to produce it, so much planning. Worked with this big agency, right? And it wasn't all them. They did a great job. But Cycle Ranch ended up taking a big hit, right? And then I personally had to write a check, and we had to build our cash flow back up and stuff like that. So I've been hesitant to do it. Cancel this. This is actually the guy with the vacations, call it, but I'll call him after this. So this was the Rally Race of Heroes. And the concept was to raise money for veterans. And specifically in this case, it was CFI, who's one of the people that was helping lead the charge. Spencer, he did a lot to make that happen. Spencer McGinnis did a lot to make that happen. He worked really hard to make that happen. So it was really cool to see. And the other side of it was behind the scenes. It was like, man, we can't do that event again. It was an amazing event. We can't take hits like that. So I want to bring that event back, but I want to bring it back a way that Cycle Ranch doesn't take a 5-figure, 4-figure hit or hit at all. Like Cycle Ranch can actually sustain itself, make a little money, and grow with it. So I've been thinking about that event a lot, and how do we get the rally portion, which is like all the street bikes, to come up here and do a bike show or something like that, and then have motocross or supercross style race, and maybe combine it with Tex-Mex or something like that. I don't know. It's in the ethers, and I'm just sharing it with you. I don't have it figured out. So nothing I'm saying is I'm going to make that happen this year. So we got that going on, right? So thinking about that. And as ideas develop, I got a lot more ideas on that. I'll share them with you if we make some progress on that. And then, of course, my family. My son is about to be 6 years old. It's a super fun age. He wants to play everything with me. Dude, everything's daddy, daddy, daddy. And I have to say no. I don't have to. But to do these other things, it becomes a choice to do everything else I was talking about. So I want to make sure I make some more time for him during this downtime from riding. It frees up a lot. So that's kind of what I'm up to here, what we are up to here as a team. It's been a lot. We've acquired a lot of new rental bikes. They've been renting a ton. We're still doing a lot of learn to ride. We're doing a lot of the intermediate classes. It really seems like it's growing on all fronts. So we're just keeping up with that expansion best we can. For those of you that had businesses before, you know what growth does to cash flow, right? It's like compresses the cash flow, because as you grow, you got to spend this money to make sure you have room for more. So all these things are costing money, but this is where your money's going. It's going back into the place you love to come to, right? It's going back, so the next time you're here, it's better. I'm not just taking money and putting it in my pocket, or just throwing it out on wasteful things, once at a time, gimmicky things. Doing it in a way that your experience here is going to be top notch. And that's what we're always aiming for. So that's really the thoughts. Make sure that the whole family loves being out here, and create a lot of great memories. And then we have a little sprinkling of competitive racing, and we have some non-moto events and some other things going on. So that's what's coming up. That's what I'm on to. I hope you found this useful. If there's something you want me to dive into more, just drop it in the comments, and I'll pick something up, put it down. And guys, have a great day. God bless you. I'm gonna get to work.